gosh! What are you guys doing here? Hey guys, it's me, your favorite girl in the entire world. I'm gonna actually zoom in. Hi guys, it's me. Today we're gonna do another Q&A. Yes, indeed, we're gonna do another Q&A. I was gonna film this with my mic sitting on my bed. I don't know where I put my mic though. So, we are not gonna be using the mic today, but that's okay. We don't need the mic to have a fun time, to speak facts. Got our cat socks on. I don't know how I'm loving this setup because I feel so far away from you guys. Like, this is giving like I'm so far away from you, but also maybe kind of cute, kind of cozy. He's here to join us. I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me some questions, and y'all, I'm not gonna lie, y'all came through. Like, we got juicy. Okay, so I just wish I had my mic, but I literally could not tell you where I put it. I feel like you guys are so far away. Okay, hold on. Maybe I like that better. You're on my computer on my bed. Okay, I like that better. Don't you agree? You guys are kind of rocking with me, but you know what? I like it better. You're not so far away from me. We're gonna start off with a really great question that I think is my favorite out of all of them. How are you so bad and beautiful? I'm literally obsessed with you till you kiss me. Let's kiss. How am I so beautiful and bad? Ask my mother. I get my baddie features from her. Do I look naturally placed here? What are the vibes? Okay, matte or dewy finish? Always dewy. Forever dewy. What makeup trend are you loving right now? I don't know if this like counts because like, well, you know what? No, we're not gonna second guess ourselves. I've been loving the TikToks of the like yarn makeup where people are like putting like yarn on their face. I know that's not like probably the answer you were looking for, but I think it is so cool and I want to do it so bad, but I do not have the time for that. How many times do you wash your hair in a week? It varies depending on what I have that week because I have a very specific way I like my hair to look, and the way I get it is with my Dyson, and I usually like to do that on wet hair because I think it looks the best when the hair is like wet, but I would say anywhere from 2 to 3. How are you such a baddie? I just am, okay? I just am. I think I'm gonna move you guys again. And I think I'm gonna put you on the ground like this. I want you to like, I want this to be like cozy, comfy vibes. So maybe like this. Is this cozy, comfy? I feel like this is cozy, comfy. But like it needs to be like I'm the center of attention, not my stuffed animal. Have you ever thought about getting Binky a friend? Yes. I do know like cats can get like really lonely. And especially like when I'm at school or like leave for the majority of the day, I feel so bad leaving him alone. But where I live is almost, it's just about too small for him and I, and especially him still being a kitten, and so having another kitten would just be insane. And also like I've had just one cat, I've had multiple cats in the same household, and you just don't have the same bond with your cat if there's another one, you know what I mean? Like Binky and I are like we're best friends, and I just don't think we would be as close if he had a friend. But I think eventually I will get him a friend, but right now I don't have the capacity for that. How are you so confident? Also, I love you so much. You're my favorite content creator. Thank you so much. I love you so much. How am I so confident? I don't know. I get this question a lot, or like how I gain my confidence and stuff. My pants are so hyped up right now. Like how I gained my confidence and stuff, and I'm like, I don't really remember. I just kind of like, I think I just hit a breaking point where I was like, I was so sick of not feeling good about myself that I just was like, okay, I just am not gonna feel like this anymore, which sounds so like easy. But I think too, just like recognizing the fact that like we're all so different. What? We're all so different and we're all so unique, and there are so many things about me that make me me, and that's so special. And I have so many, like we all have our talents, and that's what makes us special, and like focusing on those things that make us special. And like I started focusing on like the thing I was good at, which was makeup, and I started posting about it, and I made a freaking career out of it, and I never thought I could do that. And I think just like having the that
helped my confidence and just like knowing I was capable of so much. And I don't know, I think just I'm confident because I know there's no one out there like me, and that goes for every single person watching this. Like there's no one out there like you, and finding like appreciation in that, and like that being your source of confidence of like, wow, there is no one else like me. That is so cool. I'm so unique. I'm so different. And just knowing you're a freaking baddie. A freaking baddie. Girl, like, I don't know. Or I need to really think about this because I get this question a lot where it's like, how did you become so confident? How do you gain confidence? What makes you so confident? Whatever. And I like, it always comes back to just knowing like that there's only one of me, and that makes me special. And I go off of that. Like that's like my foundation of it all. But I really like don't know how to explain it further beyond that without sounding like the most conceited person known to mankind. Because I'm not. I think there is beauty in knowing that you are unique and special to who you are, and appreciating that.
Hey, it's me, the editing wizard, here to add on to what I'm saying that I think is going to make more sense. You are one of a kind, really, truly. I'm one of a kind. You are one of a kind. Your mother's one of a kind. Your father's, your sister, everyone around you is one of a kind. And appreciating the beauty in that and figuring out what makes you one of a kind and focusing on that and appreciating it, putting gratitude towards it, loving that part of yourself that makes you one of a kind, being proud that you are one of a kind and that there are things that make you one of a kind that make you special. And, oh, my dishes are done from the dishwasher. You are one of a kind, and that is so special, and building your confidence off of that is what really helped me, and recognizing that you are so special. No matter what the little evil people in your head are telling you otherwise, it's not true. And I'm here to tell you it's not true. Trust me. You should trust me, okay? Anyway, back to the program.
I don't know, does any of that make sense? I don't know. Have you ever struggled with body image and advice for those struggling? I am very lucky that I have never struggled with it on an extreme level. I mean, I'm a teenage girl, like I've definitely struggled before with it, but not to the point of like, I know some people struggle. And my advice for that is like, our bodies are here to keep us healthy, alive, strong, and whatever that means for your body is what your body needs. Like going back to the all of us are so unique and different, like that's same thing goes with your immune system, with your metabolism, with your like ability to gain or lose weight. Like that's all so different, and so comparing it to someone else's body is like comparing apples to oranges. They're so different, and some people are set up differently. Like we're set up differently, and I know everyone says this, but just knowing you are so beautiful no matter what, and so amazing and so worth it no matter what, and no matter what the standard should be, or like what the standard is, or the beauty standard, because a beauty standard is ridiculous, because again, it's like back to like everyone is so different, you know, and like it's again comparing apples and oranges. It's just like there's no point in it. Why can't we all just appreciate that we all have our own unique beauty? That is what makes it so beautiful. When do you graduate with your bachelor's, and are you going to grad school? So I don't know exactly when I graduate. I'm set to graduate like technically after 4 years, so 2027, but I think it's gonna take me a little bit longer to graduate, just because I don't take a full set of credits because I do work. But with like the amount of work that I do for social media, which is great as a college student and like works so well with my schedule, but can be time consuming, and like obviously school's time consuming, so I try to keep it, you know, pretty manageable, especially for someone who gets really stressed. But yeah, I don't know, 2027, 2028 probably, I don't really know. And then I do plan on getting my PhD in psychology. I'm also studying psychology. I know I get that question a lot too, is what I'm studying in college. I study psychology. Oh, there was a question, what got you into psychology? This is a great question. So for the longest time, like all throughout high school up until my senior year, I was like, I'm not going to college. I don't want to do that route. Like I was so against it. Everyone was like, what the heck? My whole family would be like, Tilly, like you should just consider it. And I was like, no, because mind you, my high school experience Not just my high school, elementary, middle, and high school experiences. So all the experience I had in a quote-unquote school was awful. And so I didn't know that there could be any different outside of that. And so like I just was like, oh, college, it's gonna suck because everything else has sucked. And then I moved to Utah and I started living like a normal, somewhat, there were still some bumps, but I had a different perspective on life and I started enjoying myself and enjoying living. That sounds so like sad, but yeah, I just started enjoying living, and I was like, I don't know, I had this mentality for the longest time. I don't know if I would call it a mentality, but I had, like, how do I explain this? Like, I used to like always have this thought of like, at the end of the day, like when everything is said and done, we die. And I remember thinking like, what is the point of doing anything if we're just gonna die? And then it means nothing. And I know how sad that sounds, and that was another thing. Like, I was so depressed. I was so depressed. And I didn't want to get better. I didn't want to do anything with my life. My whole life had been like, things would like suck, and then it would start to get better, and as soon as I would like be able to like catch my breath or like take a second and have a break, something would happen and I would fall back down. My life would get all jumbled up again, and then it would suck, and then things would kind of start to, you know, iron themselves out, and then I would get back up to that like, oh, I can kind of catch my breath, things would crumble. Like, it was just this constant thing, and it felt unbeatable, and I felt like, well, if this is the rest of my life, like, what is the point of like trying to feel better if I'm just gonna fall back down on my butt and hate my life again? And this is a really long explanation for this question, I'm so sorry, but yeah, so I was in this like sad mindset of just like, nothing is great, nothing is good, like we all are gonna die, what's the point of getting better if things are just gonna suck again? I was so used to this feeling of like drowning and just barely keeping my head above water that I just had no motivation, and so I didn't want to go to college. I was like, what's the point in like learning something, getting a degree, getting a job, you know, putting all this time and effort into something, and yeah, I experienced it for so many years and then I just die, and like, what's the point? And I definitely don't think like that anymore, which is a whole nother thing that I won't get into right now. But yeah, I had no desire to go to college. And then I came to Utah, and when I tell you a big reason I got better was because we moved, and I moved out of such a dark hole. Like, where I lived was just, I don't think if I would have stayed there, if we would have stayed there and not moved, I think I would still be in that state of mind, if not just not here, if you know what I mean. Because really being pulled out of that hole and put into a new environment was what absolutely changed everything for me. I know not everyone has opportunity to do, so I am forever grateful, and literally every single time I pray, I start, thank you for saving me. That's a whole nother story. Us moving is a whole nother story. But once we moved here, you know, things started to look up and I felt good about life again. And then everyone around me, you know, like everyone started applying colleges, started talking about college and what they want to do. And I was like, wait, I could like do something. Like I could go to college, I could get a degree. And I don't remember when I decided to study psychology. I don't remember what that initial click was, but I just remember always wanting to study it because I always thought like there has to be better and faster ways to help people with trauma, with PTSD, with depression, with anxiety, all the things I had gone through. All I knew is I want to help the people who are in the situation I was in and felt the way I felt. And there has to be something, especially just like being traumatized and PTSD. Like that whole thing is so fascinating to me. There has to be more that can be done, and like I just want to do anything I can to prevent even just one person from going through the hell I went through. If you could describe yourself as any object, what would it be? A tulip. Is that an object? I guess that's a plant. A perfume bottle. I feel like I would be a perfume bottle or a lip gloss. Dating boys and advice on it. Girl, I have no advice there. You'd have to give me like a specific situation, because then I could give you advice, but just dating in general is just, don't do it. What was it like moving away from your mom? Like, were you scared, and how did you cope? Okay, this was so hard. Little backstory if you don't know. I am an only child with a single mom, and she has been a single mom my entire life. My parents got divorced when I was a year old. My dad had a little bit of custody, and I saw him here and there, but me and my mom are like this. It was me and my mom till the day we die, like ride or die, all I had. And my mom quickly became my best friend, because as I started going to school, I started struggling struggling with friends, and yeah, she's my person, and I love my mom so much. Shout out Amy, love you. And so moving away was really exciting and really sad, and I didn't really feel the sadness until very close to moving out. I've always been like very independent, and so I've always been excited to move out and be on my own and live on my own and experience life on my own, and that's kind of how she raised me, and she like raised me to be excited for that kind of thing. But also, you know, I knew like like when you do like get to that point of like moving out to college, it's like your childhood is done, and you're never going back to it. You're never gonna relive those years. You're never gonna move home. I mean, you could move home, but like, and it's a very interesting feeling of just like, whoa, this whole entire, like, such a long part of my life is ending and something completely new is starting, and you're figuring a lot of it out on your own, and that's scary. And I also knew it was going to affect her, and it was going to be really hard for her, which my mom and I are very connected, where anything she feels I feel, anything I feel she feels. So I knew she was gonna have a hard time with it and be really sad, which made me sad. You just gotta get through it. You just gotta go through it, you know. You just gotta deal with the hard, and then it'll get easier. And it's still hard sometimes, and I know it's hard for her, and it's hard for me to this day, because it's just like, I'll go to Target and be like, I wish I was going to Target with my mom right now. So I don't know, it's just a rough thing. It's a weird time of life. Yo, how did you move on from things in the past? You mentioned a lot of growth. Yeah, it takes a lot of time, and something I've always struggled with the most, like, in my life is being out of control. Like, I hate not being in control of a situation. No matter what kind of situation it is, I like to have control, but 90% of the time we don't have control. And so I would always dwell on like past situations and past experiences, being like, oh, I wish this would have happened, I wish they would have done this differently, I wish I would have said something, I wish blah blah blah, I wish I could change it. And I one day was like, you know, we can't change it, you literally can't. So spending time being upset about something that you have that happens, is said and done, is a waste of your time, and we really don't get a lot of time here. And so wasting it, spending time focused on something so utterly out of your control is stupid. It's hard to not, but if you just kind of like kick yourself and is like, stop being dumb, stop thinking about that, like you're wasting your time, like thinking about it as a waste of time of not dwelling on a past situation really helped me. And like, yeah, there's still things that I look back and be like, wow, I wish I would have spoke up, I wish I would have said something, I wish I wouldn't have just put up with this, but there's nothing I can do about it because I didn't. But I learned something from that, and like now, who I am now, I will stick up for myself. I will put you in your place. I don't care who thinks I'm crazy, I will say something. And so also appreciating everything you have learned, which I can guarantee you, any situation you go through, any experience you go through, you've learned at least one thing, if not multiple. Kind of just like focusing on that part of like, yeah, that sucked, but what did I learn from it? How did that help me grow into a better version of me? We're constantly learning how to be better versions of ourselves, and learn, like, these experiences are helping us become those people, and appreciating that. I love appreciation. I'm a big appreciating, I'm a big grateful, give gratitude, count your blessings girl. If you want to be happy, you gotta have so much gratitude. You got working legs and a roof over your head and a bed to sleep in. You have a lot to be grateful for. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? To teleport. Oh my gosh, I all the time wish I could teleport. Oh my gosh, there's so many times where I've been like, I wish I could just teleport home, or teleport there, or teleport to a beach. Oh, I wish I could teleport. How did you think of the name Stinkers? This is a good one. So when I got my cat August, who, if you're like an OG, followed me on TikTok for a while, you know who August is. He's a fluffy, he looks like me. He's fluffy, he's a fluffy, like not orange, he's like blonde. He's a blonde cat. I got him in 2021 after I had my first heartbreak, and he was like my best friend. He kind of hates me now because I abandoned him and got Binky, but when he was a kitten, he's always had really fluffy fur, and so when he would poop, he would always get it stuck in his fur, and we would have to clean it, and then he would stink. And so I'd always be like, you're so stinky, what are you doing here, Stinky? And I started calling him Stinker and stuff, and then it became like
I'm sorry. Why did a country accent just come out? That was weird. It became like a term of endearment to me, and I just started calling everyone that, and then Lexi picked it up, and then I started saying it on here, and so yeah. Boy/dad lore. Oh gosh. I feel like that's its own video. Okay, someone asked, what is a good mindset to have in high school as a teenage girl? That it is only 4 years of your life, and it ends one day. Like, I feel like it really is your world. Like, when you're in high school, it is your world. It is, there's nothing outside of it, but there's nothing outside of it yet until you graduate and the world becomes the actual world. And I just wish I would have remembered in high school that like it was gonna end and take some pressure off of it, and like I just wish I would have not made those, like, the things that are important in high school so important. Like, I'm thinking about just like when I was in high school, and I wish I didn't make, you know, being invited to the parties, to the hangouts, on the dates, to the dances, like, as important as they were. I wish I didn't make Snapchat so important. I wish I didn't make these things that in the moment, yes, are your world and is important. They're not outside of it. There's so much life to live outside of high school, and if you are the girl who doesn't have any friends or is struggling with friends or whatever, just know one day you're not gonna be in high school anymore, and none of it is gonna matter, and you're learning such great life lessons for the outside world, and it's gonna end. If you could change something from the past, what would it be? All the times I just put up with so much crap and didn't stick up for myself. I mean, the amount of times I had like arguments with people in person or over text or over Snapchat or over the phone or whatever, and instead of just sticking up for myself and like getting mad and like whatever, I was so concerned with not risking people getting even more mad at me or losing more friends or like never recovering from it and having friends again. I was so concerned with all of that I didn't stick up for myself, and I just instead were like, it's okay, like it's fine, like I get it. I mean, I said it's okay to the most horrendous things, and I let it roll off my back, and I just let it not be a big deal. And I wish I could go back and stick up for myself. And no, like that's not okay. You don't treat someone like that. You don't do that to someone. I wish I could go back. If I could change anything, it would be sticking up for myself, because I never did. The hardest challenge you've ever came across, how did you get through it? Probably depression. That was probably like the hardest thing I have ever gone through, because it is like, it got so bad that like no one else could help me through it. It was like I was the only one who was gonna get myself out of that hole, and getting out of that hole was so hard. And I also was so young when it started that it became my identity, became who I was. Trying to unidentify with it was really hard, because once something becomes your identity, I mean, you're just so used to it. I don't know. How did I get through it though? Just time and effort, and not giving up on myself, not giving up on my life. I don't really know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't remember it. I don't remember most of my life, okay? How old is Binky? I got him in September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So he's about 9 months old. What are you reading? This is such a great question. Right now I am reading How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale whatever. My cousin Brie got me that book for Christmas, and I love it. It's so good. I've seen quite a few times of like, what's a piece of advice you would give your younger self? The advice I would give myself is you can take up space, you can be loud, you can say something, you can stick up for yourself. If you don't like something, you can say it. If you don't like something, you can speak up about it. If someone is treating you wrong, you can say something about it. You don't have to put up with it. You can take up space in this world. And if you stick up for yourself and the other person does not take it well, then that's their fault. Maybe they shouldn't be doing the thing they were doing in the first place. You're always so private with your men, but never seem phased when it's over. How? Oh, girl. I am phased. I am phased. My whole thing about it is like, never, ever, ever, ever am I going to let a man affect this whole part of my life. Never. Because this is my happy place. This is what brings me the most joy. You guys are what brings me the most joy, and I have not met a man who is good enough or important enough to be brought on this, whether that's when he's in my good graces or when he's not. And I am private about it because, again, they are not relevant enough, and it's never been anything about like people's opinions or whatever, because people would have so many opinions.
everyone around me has opinions. They're like, why are you choosing him? But no, it's more just like, this is my safe space, and letting a man come into that, whether that's talking about him, posting about him in a good light or a bad light, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of your time, it's a waste of my time, and they're not important enough. But I am phased. But to be fair, I have not had a situation where I was phased for almost a year. So, if that helps. Actually, that's such a lie. Oh my gosh, that's the biggest lie I've ever told. I am forgetting about one. I just don't like to talk about it, and I pretend it didn't happen. How do you not run out of storage every day as a content creator? I do. Why is Binky such a precious angel bug? You know, he is, I don't know, but he is perfect. Best way to train your bangs. Mine look like shit. Get a Dyson. That's my best advice for you. My bangs didn't look good with anything except my Dyson. Why aren't you taking new clients at the moment? BTW, I love you. I don't take clients. I make videos. Okay, we're gonna end with how not to be a people pleaser. This is such a good question. I love all of my friends, but my friends who are people pleasers, it's like nails on a chalkboard. I am so opposite of a people pleaser. Probably a little too much. Not like I am so severely not a people pleaser that it might be a bad thing. But this is my best advice. This is your life. Okay, if you do not like something that is happening in your life, you have the right to say something, because it is your life, it is your peace, it is your time. Yes, it is important to be conscious of other people's feelings and aware and kind and lead with kindness. But if they are not leading with kindness, if they are not being respectful, if they are not being conscious of your feelings, of how their actions making you feel, then you have a right to stick up for yourself, and you have a right to say no, and you have a right to not accept that. This is no one else's life. They can deal with their own, they can deal with it. Like, how do I say this? They can deal with how it makes them feel that you stick up for yourself. Does that make sense? If someone is not being conscious of your feelings, then you don't need to continue being conscious of their feelings. If it is making you stressed, if it is giving you any sort of negative emotion, you do not need to worry. I promise. You don't. This is your life. Take back your life. I'm serious. Take back your life. This is your life. You don't have to put up with something just because it might stir the pot. If you stick up for yourself, if you say something, it might hurt their feelings, even though you're already being hurt, you are already being negatively affected. They are clearly not concerned with how it's affecting you. So does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Anyway, I'm gonna stop the questions there because there's so freaking many, and I am so sleepy tired. Why am I sitting like this? Hi, thanks for hanging out with me while I rambled. I love these videos where I ramble. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I gave some good advice. Hopefully I answered some of your juicy questions you had. I don't think I made any sense, and I don't even know what I talked about in this video, but hopefully it was good. I love you guys so much. I'll see you maybe next week. I didn't post for 2 weeks because I was stressed, but I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. I'm so sunburnt. Have a wonderful, amazing, splendid day. I love you guys so much with my whole entire heart. If I could kiss every single one of you on the lips, I literally would. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.